Peace and love. Sister Nzinga here from Nzinga's Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga. We're here to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. We're trying to encourage people to think. It ain't illegal yet, y'all. It ain't illegal yet. So we created an acronym with the THINK, the word think. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. So what we are trying to encourage people to do is not just listen to me, but there's so much information out here that's being given today that is helpful to us, help us emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, help us make changes, help us realize our freedom, help us to heal our bodies and our minds and our souls, and come here and find your purpose. So there's so much to talk about. Sometimes when I get to these things, I come with intentions of talking about one thing, I end up talking about something different. I'm just going to just be, kind of brief today because I'm doing this kind of late and I'm not at home. So I just wanted to talk about, some stuff that I want everyone to think about. Okay, so if we started like at the beginning, we were kings and queens. We lived very royally. We were we created the math. We were scientific. We created the pyramids. We lived in communities. We were very communal. Families lived together. We were at peace, and we cared and did for one another and supported one another. So then, the story goes, which I'm trying to verify that too about, we got to America. I'm not even going to say how we got there because I don't know if all the stories that we were told about exactly how we got there is true, because if you do some research, check this out. We were already there. We as a people that were native people of the continent of Kemet, which they call Africa, we had traveled the world, because before, remember, we were the original race, and so it was just us. So we've been all over this world. So a lot of us was already there in America when they're saying that, they brought us here. But some of us was already there, and some of us was already in all these different Caribbean places and so forth. So, but they did bring more over, so the story goes. So then they put us into a foreign land, foreign language. Everything is foreign, the foods, the surroundings, the environment, the air we breathe, everything is foreign. And, we're there, then we're taught that, first they didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to read. They knew that we were intelligent and that we had faculties and the capacity to be able to think and create and things. So that's why at first that we weren't allowed to even to be educated. So, yeah, do you know that it was actually a law, that it was really actually against the law for us to be able to read and educate ourselves? But anyway, time come, time go, and of course, they changed the law, so now, we are able to educate ourselves, and we are surpassing them, and that's the point. They didn't want us to do anything because they knew if we use our intellect, that we were surpassed them. We have created so much more in the world before them, and a lot of stuff that is being used today by these people is our creations. But according to documents back then, we weren't able to hold patents. We weren't able to put our name on things, to show that we are the ones that created it. And so the people, they took it and called it their own. I think I talked about that in my last one. They took things, renamed it, and they claimed it their own. And so we came here and we created even all the different styles of music. Elvis Presley is not the godfather of soul. James Brown is, because he got everything that he got from different, black people that performed before him. He was fascinated about, of the black people that used to perform. And so he imitated that, and, of course he became, who he was and so forth. And, but we came here with the music, the blues, jazz, even some of the country music, because the country music was some of our part of the blues, because the blues is the music where you kind of talk about things, with the twang twang and, I ain't got no money and different stuff. Well, I better not try to sing, but anyway, all those different musics evolved, I must say, out of something that belonged to us. We are the original creators. We are the original Aboriginal people in many of these lands on this earth. So, okay, come forward, we come here and but we are able to be educated. We're taught stories, and this is what they put in the books, and this is what we had to learn. Now, whether it was true or not, this is what we were told. So we took that stuff, we embraced it, made it our own. We're still doing those times. Sorry, I'm outside there. Stories still doing the times of the 30s. Let me excuse me, the 1930s to the 50s. That's kind of about what we were coming about, and this is when we had created our own little kind of cities and stuff. And we know what happened to those. I just hate to keep saying it, that they destroyed it. It was more than one, and but we had our own and everything. They didn't want us to have our own. They didn't want us to survive like that, and so they just want us to continue to be underneath their thumb and keep us oppressed and depressed. And so we had to move on, and we survived that and continue to live. But if you look at pictures from back in the 30s and the 50s, boy, we used to dress. We were very proud people, and we had pride in how we looked. And the mink stoles that people wear today, and actually the full mink. That was from us. This is what we did as a people. When our women used to get up and get dressed to go somewhere, they used to how you doing? Used to get up and get dressed. They used to be dressed like to the T. You hear me? So this is where we came from. And so when the music was presented, like I was saying, Diana Ross, the Supremes, the Temptations, Isaac Hayes, all the brothers, Delphonics, all those sisters and brothers who used to perform way back in the day, they dressed very nice. Gladys Knight and Aretha Franklin. They dressed very nice when they came up on that stage. Very nice, presented themselves like the kings and queens that we were. But now music has evolved, and that most of the singers that get up on the stage, are the ones that's performing, especially the ones for the young people. They're wearing some untied shoes. They got the pants hanging down. The women hardly got no clothes on. They put a t-shirt on, some jeans on, and so forth like that. That's not how we used to present ourselves. There are still a few singers that sing ballads and that do get dressed up, like India Arie, Kim, some other people. I don't know some of these other people's names, so I don't stay up with them. But but they dress nicely when they get up on the stage. But sometimes we're still so relaxed because it's like we no longer strive for excellence. Like, what's going on that we don't strive for excellence? Because they have, well, I do know why. It's because they have created this narrative. And so, to keep it going, then we came here, we was educated, and we got, learned what they wanted us to learn. And everything that we get into, basketball, all the sports that we get into, we excel very much. We excel. There's so many things that we do when we put our mind to it that we just excel. And there's so many things that we use on a daily basis in our everyday lives that was created by us, but they don't give us credit for it. The traffic light, the elevator, the washing machine, the mop, the tracks that switch the trains, the hand whip, the vacuum cleaner, the I can go on and on. All of these are things that we as a people we created, but our name ain't on it. Even there's some proof now that even the remember the show called The Jeffersons. And George, the Jeffersons, and then it was George Jefferson, and then what's his name? Somebody Sanford, who was a junkyard man. Him and his son. But these are stories that came about. Oh, and what's the other one? The one with JJ. Those stories were created by a black man, and he just finally, I think, was able to get across after being suing up the man who said he created those things for such a long time. It finally came true. So if you go and you Google that, you can look up and see who was the real creator of those storylines. Because how can a white man even identify with the stories that was being told? Because those were stories about us and how we lived and how we survived. So how can a white man create those stories? So it was a brother that created those stories. It was so much stuff that we did and we didn't get credit for. So anyway, as we move along, that we were very productive people who cared. Even though if we only had one pair of shoes, that one pair of shoes was cleaning and shining, and was just very nice. We were very proud people, but it has diminished. Everything has been diminished. It's like we have no more. The way they have taught us, have changed our ideas about how we think about ourselves. They've broken up the family. During the time when the women needed assistance. On the welfare, but do know that welfare was not created for us. This was when the welfare, they created welfare for the white women that stayed at home and worked while the men went to the mines and did all the different things that the white men did when it came to working. So, and then now to this day, there are more white people on welfare than there are black. You know, of course, we don't talk about us. So, so there's been things to divide the families. There has been things to dumb us down, to make us call each other these certain names. They've been giving us these names. Like I said, when a Chinese man comes to China, he's just still a Chinese man. Why come we still can't be an African? We got to get all these names from all you know what they are. I mean, I haven't even gone through them because it's unfortunate that we still call each other or some of those things or most of those things, but that's not really who we are, and we're really not a minority. But this is the way they describe us. It's like when it comes to certain clothing, this is we're the urban, and this is something that they made up to say this is an urban look, and this is how that black people dress. I mean, it's just so much. Sometimes I just get frustrated talking about these things because they have taken so much from us, and then when I look at us, the situation that we're in today, it hurts. It hurts. When you know the truth about things that really happen and how things are going on. So it's like I said, but they have divided the families because we used to live in compounds, and so we owned the whole big area of land, some acres, and so the mother and father lived here, and then as the children got older, then there was the child or the man or woman would build his home on the same compound, and so forth and so on. And the grandparents, we didn't put our grandparents in no type of nursery homes and none of that kind of stuff. We just did it on we kept them there until they passed. So these are things that that they're taken from us, and now we got us. We don't want to live together in the same house. Even somebody got a 5-bedroom house and only 2 people live there. But everybody wants to be showboat and act like, I got my own 4-bedroom house. I got my own this or that or that. But all it does is just keeps us separate. And the bottom line of everything is about money. It's about money. So now we're in this society that we live in. We hardly even know our neighbors. We just been taught that you're supposed to know this, you're supposed to know that, and then you pay for it. And if you go to college, according to the way they say that you're in debt for years afterwards, which don't make no sense. And sometimes most of that stuff that you learn in your college years that you don't even use once you get out of college. So that's why I said college is really not for everybody, in my opinion. So I just want us just to think back. Follow the history of where we were and then where we are now. It ain't right. Something's not right. And that's because we have been brainwashed and we hoodwinked and everything, and to think that, that all the information that we have been taught is correct. And it is not correct. We do have to understand that these are just suggestions. I suggest that this is the new stuff. This is, somebody came up with an idea. So everybody don't got to run with that idea because it ain't your idea and you may not like it. So I just want everybody to think about the things that, in your own life. I'm in my 60s, and sometimes, people kind of just say, well, because they're at my age, well, I'm just going to just whatever it is. But, not me. I'm going to create my own narrative, and I'm going to live my life, happily, with my own ideas and so forth. So just think about, the history of where we came from, and let us try to get back to that again. Know your worth. Know that, that we are royal people. Know that we used to have pride. We used to love one another, do for one another, help one another. And we don't do these things. It's because of the mental slavery. The things that we have been taught, the way to treat each other, the things to eat, all that kind of stuff is all negative stuff, that's been in our bodies. So it's up to us as individuals to make choices, to take back our freedom and be proud of who you are and be proud to be unique, because there's only one you. There's only one me. Nobody can be me but me. And the same thing for you. Nobody can be you but you. And it's okay that you're different. And so when people just think, oh, I ain't in no mental slavery because I do what I want to do. I did. Oh, but you don't. You don't. Because you watch TV according to what they tell you to watch. You move according to what they tell you to do, like on the news or whatever, or they send you a letter or what the pastor says. We eat. I don't know how you eat, but maybe you may be still eating whatever your mama or daddy ate. And in this day and age, we do know that there are some other health issues that we have that sometimes we can't eat the stuff that mom and daddy ate. But do realize that that's the food that we was given. We grew up in tropical areas where there was plenty fruits and vegetables, and that's what we ate most of the time. They did eat meat because sometimes, I don't know if you've ever been to an African affair or a Jamaican affair, like that, and you said they give you vegetables and rice or some other stuff, and they just give you a little piece of meat. And so in America, people want a big piece of meat and just a little bit of sides. But the fact is that that's not where we came from. We used to sometimes, I guess, treat ourselves, because things was difficult back in the day. So it was a little bit of meat and more vegetables and grains and stuff that we were given. So you have to really look at your life and think about everything and think about how can I make changes? How can I do better? How can I, be a better me? Because you have to understand that there is a mental slavery. And again, I think I said last time, you can't heal if you don't know that you're hurt. You can't heal if you don't know that you're hurt. And so this is an example of someone in denial about mental slavery. Okay, so someone had asked me about if I wanted to go to Disney World. And I said no. And they said, you don't want to go to Disney World? I'm like, no, I have no desire to go to Disney World. I mean, of course, I took my children there when they were younger, but now as an adult, and I know the game. I was like, no, I had no desire to go there because it's overpriced. It's super crowded. Even parents have to go and pay all this crazy money to get in, even though they know, the rides are mostly for the children. You're not really going to go and do much. And I was just saying no. But these people wanted to argue with me. Oh, you're so cheap. Why you don't want to go? Because it's going to be cheap, and you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that, and they were just attacking me because I said I didn't want to go. But they kept on saying, "What do you mean? Everybody want to go to Disney World?" And I mean, they kept on saying that everybody want to go to Disney World. Everybody likes Disney World. Everybody want to go to Disney World. Okay, but I don't. And so that's my choice that I don't want to go there. And if it's something I want to do with my grandchildren, I will find something that's creative or something to my liking, and I would go spend time with my grandchildren. But I don't have to just go to Disney World because everybody go to Disney World. Most people go where everybody else goes. Most people that travel, I'm going to Jamaica. I mean, they wearing Jamaica out. I'm going to the DR. If someone else they see someone else go there, I'm going to go. But Jamaica's been a place to go for a long time. But for me personally, I like Jamaica, but it's not some place that I've been so many times. I really would be my choice of place to go. I want to go I want to go. I love Belize. That's my favorite place. I want to go to Costa Rica, Panama. What's the other little place that's down there? Guyana. Cuba. There's so many other places to go, but we just I'm going to Jamaica. I'm going to Jamaica. How many times can you go to Jamaica? And people go over and over and over again. It's only because that's what everybody talk about. Oh, girl, I went to Jamaica and this. But there's so many other islands out there. St. Kitts, St. Lucia, St. Thomas. There's many islands out there. Guyana. So there's so many places that you could go. But what we do is what everybody else do. Or what we do is what we told. Just like they give us, who are supposed to be our heroes. They give us who the person we're supposed to look up to. They give us these stories, these narratives. But the thing is that we don't have to accept them. I don't know how many times I can say it. I'm going to end it right here. We don't have to accept them. Take back your freedom. Make choices for yourself. You don't have to eat what everybody eat. You don't have to say what everybody say. You don't have to go where everybody go. You don't have to do what everybody say, what they do. Everybody do. You don't have to dress where everybody dress. You don't have to buy a refrigerator like everybody got a refrigerator. You don't. And if you do, just kind of think that you're caught up, and don't feel bad because we all have been there. But some of us have gotten out, but some of us are still there. And just take pride in knowing that that you're saying, I do realize that. I'm going to stop saying that. Well, it is what it is. No, it's not. It's what you allow it to be. Because you do have a say. You cannot say it is what it is, because it's something you could do. You could change it, or you could not participate. You could do whatever. But it's not the way it is. We have to start creating our own narratives. Whatever society gives us to do, wear, look at, buy, blah, 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 especially the buying part, you guys. Please, we have got to really be mindful of our money. We have got to be mindful of our money. So I'm just going to just end here, because I don't want to repeat myself, but I really want to say what you do with your money is so important. That's really, really important. And then the decisions that you make throughout your life and what you put in your mouth, because that's where all the disease comes from. So I love you. Thank you, everybody, for my new subscribers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing and caring. And please subscribe Ring the bell so you can let me know when the next video is coming out. But by the way, every Tuesday I come out with a new video. All right, so thank you so much. Peace and love. I love you.